non-farm payroll week once again. All right, non-farm payroll. This will be the final non-farm payroll before the November so-called FOMC. And of course, definitely, it's all right. This is going to be very important for this Federal Reserve to make their final decision before we actually have any form of any possible chance of a tapering. All right, I'll talk about this more shortly. Now, of course, more important is this is the time to make loads of money. Indeed, in fact, it's all right. I was having a little conversation with my friend yesterday. You know, he was asking me this question. He said, Kel, what do you see about October? And I pondered for about 10 seconds. I told him that this is a great time to make a lot of money. And he says that, how? Why is that so? I said that there's going to be a lot of volatility happening. And immediate reaction was, he told me, Kel, volatility, isn't that very dangerous? I say that, yeah, it is dangerous, but it's where the money is. So as long as you know what to do with this volatility, you will be able to make a lot of money from there. And I'm targeting myself to make a good deal of money this month itself. So that's the reason why I want to share a lot of good stuff with you. But before we start this again, do note, disclaimer as usual, we want you to know that my job is to share with you great stuff. Your job is to absorb, digest, and see whether any part I share makes sense to you, and consider to use some of the information to benefit from the market. All right, but of course, nothing is 100%. So yeah, if you continue with me, yeah, accepted the above and indemnified me. All right, that's very important. Okay, thank you. Now, this is the Wall Street joke of the day, and I like this joke. Okay, don't panic. This is just a correction. All right. Now, you can see that some people, when they're off the cliff, they feel they will get shocked of their life about, oh, this is ridiculous, and this is literally off the cliff. But of course, this joke is to tell you that, all right, in every market pullback is known to be, there's three things, it's called corrections. Okay, sorry, the first one is pullback, corrections, and bear market. So usually it's a pullback is about 5%. Oh, is it my screen not sharing? Oh, okay, something is wrong there. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, let me just go back my screen again. Oh, okay. I see what happened. Okay, thank you, Eric, for pinpointing that once again. Okay, no wonder. Okay, once again, all right, let me just show you my main screen once again. I'm so sorry. Okay, today is the 4th of October, Monday. All right, October month, the time to make loads of money. Okay, this is my view and disclaimer. As you take a look that you are read the above and you accept the content and identify me. All right, so this particular cartoon that I missed out earlier itself. All right. Now the thing is this, you must understand market categorize selling in three ways. I say first one is just a pullback. The second one is correction. The third one is a bear market. Now, normally pullback is about basically 1 to 5%. Correction is about 5 to 10 to 12% to 15%. Then we're talking about a serious bear territory is below 20%. So the thing is this, when the market is, or more than 20%, sorry, when the market is basically moving in this manner itself, right? Traders usually will panic. There'll be a lot of some form of selling, a lot of this doomsday player come out and tell you this and that. That is what it will happen usually. All right. But I say it all depends on view. Now, to me as a trader, it's all right, whether it's correction, pullback, or even a bad territory market, we are here to make money, and our job is just short accordingly and buy back accordingly. So if you look at what happened on the Nasdaq front, that was what I shared on 1st October last Friday. I mentioned to you that the Nasdaq will most likely pull back to the moving average 200. Now, the one that we're using is a linear weighted 200, okay? Because some of the readers actually came and asked me, how come the MA 200 that I'm using and the one that you're using is different? And I mentioned to them it's because there's two good reasons. Number one is that I'm using the linear weighted and not the simple or not exponential, okay? Second thing is that every broker will have different data point. Obviously, it means, all right, the high and low of each broker will be different. Hence, therefore, imagine that if, let's say, this is the moving average of 200, right? So imagine if every day the high and low of each of us, between us, is a bit different, it will definitely, change the number, the average of the line itself. So all these will play a part. And of course, the Nasdaq really pulls back down. It went down almost touching the MA 200 level. But before that, before we can see the market coming down, it actually rebounded. So that's the reason why I mentioned to you that if anyone want to buy the Nasdaq, you consider to buy when it's around the MA 200 level. Okay, this is how we actually talk about it, and of course you can pick up all this good stuff later on as I go to the technical side. Now, this is some person that I want to bring out to you this morning. Okay, this is Professor Segal. Now, he is a professor of finance in Wharton School. Wharton is a very, very famous school. All right, and he's always on CNBC. He wrote many books. I think some of the books here is right here itself since 1994 until now. All right. Now he's 75-year-old this year. Okay. Now this guy itself, right? If you actually look back into his history, pretty phenomenal. Why? Now in April this year, he came in and said that the market will persist at least the entire year. Now then many experts, many analysts was calling for selling, but he said that no, this stock market can go up by 30%. Wow, 30%. And the market didn't really go up by 30%. It went up by another 15%, but at least he dares to call for it. And even though the Dow Jones was already at 32,000 back then, he is still pretty firm with his view, and he was kind of correct. Then after that, very incredibly, a few months later, in August, on 19th of August, he came in and says that he expected a 5 to 10% correction move in the next 2 to 5 weeks. And if you notice that was near the high of the Dow Jones recently. So he do seem to have pretty impressive calls. And he's not only fixated on the long side, on the short side, he just both side view. So I'm kind of like, give him due respect on this. And because of that itself, right, I realized that he have a video this morning on CNBC, and I'd like you to watch it. Now, I'm quite sure you may not able to get it too clearly. Later on, I will upload it on Trade with the Boys, but I just show you a quick one. It's a 1-minute video. Let's take a look. All right.
Where do you see the stock market heading during this last and final and perhaps even seasonally strong historically?
Okay, so you can hear him out itself, right? He did say that November, December is seasonally the time whereby the market will do pretty okay. But he is kind of worried because he expects turbulence to come in soon because of the Federal Reserve. So again, the video I will upload to Trade with the Boys shortly. But the main point is this guy now is telling us that, hey, you know what, just go slow, okay? So the question is this, do you believe? Because if you look back in the tape in April, that's when he called for an upside. So let me bring you the market again. Let me just bring to you a quick one, okay? Moment, let me just bring it to you live right now. Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. Now you look at the US Dow Jones back then, okay? Let's come in. Okay, so he called for a buy back in April. April is here, okay? Can you see that? So that is where it is. Let me just make the screen a bit smaller and compare the notes now. Wait, okay, one. Okay, so let's take a look. You see, if you look at the Dow Jones, okay, this is what happened in April, 8th of April, right? 8th of April will be even earlier. Okay, here we go. 8th of April, where are you? 8th of April, it'll be somewhere here. Okay. So 8th of April, he called for buy, is somewhere around here. And that was where I told you it was about 33,000 level. Okay. And he says that up by 30%. Okay, 30% is quite substantial. That means I was looking at 40,000. Okay, but the market did went up all the way. Yeah, okay. So it went to 35,000. Okay, 35,000. Let's make it 36,000. Just for the sake of easy understanding. So it went up by at least 10%, not 30% what he claims. Okay, but very incredibly on August 19th. Now, August 19th, If you notice, as August 19 is here. Can you see that? Okay, August 19, that's where the market broke down. Okay, this is where August 19 was. Okay, he says that August 19, he says that the market is due for a correction of 5 to 10%. So the market did that. Well, the market initially went up first. Okay, I repeat that. The market initially went up first. Then, of course, now it's coming down. But he said 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 5 weeks time. So again, you know, it's up to you to see whether he's right or wrong. But I think overall he's correct. Overall he's correct. But in terms of timing, maybe a bit off here and there, but it's just very normal because big picture. Okay, anyway, this is what his view is, and I share with you. So you make your own decision. But this is the chart that people requested for me to bring it back again. So I bring it back for you. So how does we utilize this chart? Let me explain this to you once again. All right, so today is the today's date, right? Today's date is the today's date is the 4th, okay? 4th. So by right, 4th is here, okay? Okay, let me just draw it properly, okay? Okay, 4th is here. Okay, here we go. All right, this is how it looks like in the seasonal pattern. Now, what I'm trying to say is that based on seasonal pattern for the last 20 years, usually on the 4th and 5th of the month of October, usually the market will be up, okay? Then after that, by then it will go sideways for the 6th on usual ground basis. Then on the 7th, 8th, 9th, it will always seem to go down. All right, this is how it works out. But we follow, we wouldn't know. So what we do is very simple. Again, I bring you the chart, the same chart that we saw earlier. Okay, and I make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's take a look right now. So where's the start of the month? This is the start of the month. That is the 1st of October, right? So 1st October, did the market rebound? Well, theoretically it did. Okay, so by right, the market actually is supposed to, you know, go down to the 1st or the 3rd. But the problem is that 1st or 3rd, we are having a weekend. So now the question is, what is happening right now? So by the 4th or 5th, we should have a bit of recovery. Okay, this is what it meant. Then it goes like this, then go sideways, and then come down. Okay, this is what likely is trying to say. But of course, I say the 3rd and 4th, the market, this period of 1st and to 3rd, the market is supposed to be down, but yet the market was not open. So whether or not is this going to be like a delay, it's already over already, and the market may just start to go down straight away. So also, I don't know whether we should switch. But looking at the current Dow futures right now, it seems to be following the pink color line. So we will see how it goes, but at least just only a guidance. Okay, don't read too much into this. It's just a guidance. Okay, all right. So, but you cannot deny this. That after that, this is where I'm actually paying a lot of attention to, is that by the 9th of the month, the market should actually bottom, and then after that, wow, the market should recover quite a substantial level until about 21st to 22nd of the month. Now, we all know that that period of time is whereby we saw the Dow Jones collapse back in 1987, but that was only 1 year. After that itself, right, the market have been pretty bullish for the last 50 years in terms of October month. So again, I would say don't read too much into this, but just only a form of guidance. So just watch out for, if the market do go down from now till 7 to 9th of October, around this period of time, then maybe you can consider to see whether you can buy from the bottom and capture the market once again. Okay, all right, got an idea now? Rough idea, huh? Okay. Right, now for us itself, right, we are actually going to introduce very formally our Hang Seng trading program. Apparently our results have been pretty good. After 1 month of trading, our results have been pretty decent. So we'll be sharing with you more in detail. So if people want to trade Hang Seng for a living, especially now during the pandemic time, whereby you are now stuck at home, right? Maybe it's a good time to learn how to trade Hang Seng and make some daily bread for yourself, okay? All right. Now, we're going to look at this week. Now, this week, US economic data, let's take a look. Now, we have the ISM manufacturing data that's tomorrow, ADP on Wednesday, initial jobless claim on Thursday, and very important on Friday, we're going to have our this non-farm payroll. All right, so there'll be a lot of time for us to do the guessing game. So this week, do stand by on MAO. You have a lot of time, a lot of chances to guess what will be happening in the data. All right. All right, so let's take a look at what happened on Friday. Friday, the Dow Jones was very strong. Now, initially, it came down first because of the initial jobless claim, but after that, the market found some support at 33,800, and wow, went all the way up non-stop. 600 points rally non-stop. Okay, now what causes it itself, right? Well, you all know the reason was because of Merck. Okay, what happened? Let's bring a look. Okay. So US stock basically on Friday went up higher because there was news of a new oral treatment. Oral treatment, that means that you don't need to take the jab anymore. Wow, again, that's a great news for a lot of people. And that boosted the share of the company who was tied to economic recovery. So shares of Dow member Merck jumped 8.4% after drug maker Ridgeback Biotherapeutic says that the oral antiviral treatment for COVID-19 reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 50% for patients with mild and moderate cases. Wow, 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 wow. Now, if this really works, I tell you, man, this is a lovely time to buy into shares like this, pharmaceuticals, those companies that's really tied with economic recovery, like even like airlines, like this casino, or even this luxury ships, cruises and stuff. But that is only if this really proven it. All right. So we can see that the Dow Jones on Thursday was down. Okay, it was down, and on Friday, literally it gave back. It recovered all the losses. So that's why I mean by volatility. The market movement is beautiful. Yes, it's detrimental in terms of the single direction, but if you are shorted from the high, you buy back the low, you turn long at the bottom, and you hold back all the way, this is very good money, that very good money. Because what you want is that the market really move, so that even you're wrong, you can repair your trade. That's the volatility that we want. So because of that, it's all right, but there's still people who are very concerned, like because of the slowing growth, the monetary policy of the China headwind, the Evergrande issue, the fiscal stimulus, and obviously the supply chain now is having a lot of problems now, a lot of bottlenecks happening. So this is the downside. But of course, if this thing can go for oral, of course, that will give the market a little bit more buying. But you must understand one thing, majority of us is now, at least for Singapore, we're 80% vaccinated, so 20% left. So unless this is like, something even better than the vaccine that we are taking itself, right? Then yes, it will be good. But if you're just going to be just the so-called the thing that in the oral form itself, then nothing really fantastic. But of course, the market likes it in a way, and we saw the 10-year yield dropping below the 1.5%. And that's why the Nasdaq also recovered. So let's just do a recap of what happened on Friday market with a TWB system. And you can see how perfect is this system, how beautiful it is. Okay, first of all, the opening price on Friday was here. All right, we know that the KSI is red in color. Hence, therefore, we know that the market will go down, right? But the crazy part of the whole thing is this. You realize that the low of the day is 34,473. And yet the Dow Jones went down all the way and triggered the pivot 2 as if that they recognize this pivot 2. And once it hit pivot 2, we know that if the market do a color change, CCRY, red to yellow, if we flip to a red to yellow, it is a buy. And it went all the way up. And when it crossed back the pivot 1, we all know that above pivot 1, above OP is a buy, and that stretches the upside in the Dow. So you know what to do exactly based on the drawing that you can see on the screen. So let's go through it, together. Now, first of all, the market basically came down. Okay, so it came down all the way, all right? It hit the KTR -2 because the KSI was red. So we know that the Dow will come down. And then after that, it stabilized a long while at the KTR -2 level. Now, all these technical point, pivot, KTR is automatically drawn by the system. You don't need to bother. Your job is to follow through. And what happened? The market really came down. You can see that the market came down and created a BMB in the market. And of course, what happened after that? The market bottomed up and started to stretch itself. Now, once it hit the pivot 1, you notice that that's where it stopped there again, as if that the market recognized it. Then it came down, so there was a pullback here, CCYR, yellow to red, you sell, that's understandable. But once the market flipped back again, you notice this guy is a BMB, this guy is a color change, CCRY, red to yellow. This guy is a color change, crossover on a pivot, which is a very important and powerful signal. We always know that. And because it's above OP and above pivot 1, you can see that why the Dow actually shoot up by another 300 points after it crosses that level. So what do we learn from here? Remember this, they are very powerful signal on TWB system. As long as you see them all coming in line itself, right, you just have to go with the flow. You got it? All right. So that is the reason why you can see the Dow Jones was so strong towards the second half of the day itself. All right. If you understand what I just say for my students, please key number 1 right now. If you understand what I just say, please key number 1 right now. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Janet, Terry, Fred, Eric. All right, Terry, good to see you. Okay. All right, now gold. This is gold last Friday. Now, last Friday, we already tell you that we are looking to buy gold. Now, why do we look at to buy gold? Because it is, we know that number 1, this is the color change, CRY, red to yellow. Red turns to yellow is a buy. Now, we all know that the KSI was red, but we also saw the blue bar retracting and the KCX has blinked. Now, this is the first time the KCX blinked with the color change. It didn't happen the last time. If you notice this, the last time when the color changed red to yellow, it did not happen. So this time around, we have the KCX blessing this trade. So with the CCR color change and the KCX together, we know that the upside is there. But because the KSI is red in color, we know that the upside could be limited. But still, nonetheless, it is a buy for this trade itself. Okay. So what we need to do is just have to wait for the market to cross opening price to buy, right? So what we did is that we placed a level. We placed a level at 1757.5. Now, why do we put it there? Because we don't want to trigger by the boys. So we purposely put about $1 higher than usual. So we put somewhere around here. Okay. All right. Can you see that? So what happened was that during the day itself, you can see the market tries. It tried for about 4 times. And then what happened? What happened was, imagine this is the low of the day, right? Imagine this. Okay, take a look, everybody. What the boys purposely done is that purposely, you know what they do? They purposely trigger. Yes, you can see that. They purposely triggered the stop loss here. So this is the low of the day, right? Okay, so they purposely trigger it and cause a lot of stocks to be triggered. That's why you can see the boy was dumping towards it. They purposely did it, okay? Then what happened? When it hit the bottom, our K6 indicator blinked. And when it blinked itself, it means that we are near a bottoming out position. And since the boy purposely break the stops of the buyers, we know that this buy is a good buy, and that's why we entered. So when it went above OP, it was a buy. And of course, when it triggered our buying stop, we had added on buying position here. And of course, about an hour plus later, you can see that the gold immediately reacted by going higher. And this again tells you why prior to that, the market couldn't go up. But once we enter, the price goes up. Because this again tells you how to actually use the TWB system correctly. And also understand that why TWB system actually really work. All right. Pretty cool stuff, right? So that's what happened to gold on Friday. Now later on, talk about gold and what you do with gold. To me, itself, gold is a good buy. I repeat, to me now, gold is good buy, and suspect that gold will basically go higher as we trade up. Okay, I repeat, I believe that gold will likely be trading higher in the near term, in my personal opinion. Okay, so that's why I tell my friends around me to look to buy more gold. All right, Hang Seng's gonna open up very soon, but we have a lot of things to go through. So, but because Hong Kong is opening for the first time, I'm gonna go to Dow Jones, to Hong Kong right now. Just jump along to it itself because of that. Okay, I'm gonna jump in for today only. Okay, we are just about 30 seconds away. Now, Hong Kong market will be open today. Now, China is still gonna remain closed, so we have no indication from China side. Okay, China side remain closed. Okay, but of course, this is the This is the CFD is moving a little bit already, and it's a gap down this morning. The CFD has gapped down, so that's the reason why you're saying China A50. For Hong Kong, it's going to open up pretty soon. All right, this will be the MLP for today. I suspect Hong Kong will gap down this morning. So let's see what happened to the market. All right, Hong Kong is going to open up right now. Okay, let's go. Is it going to open? Yep, go. Wait a minute. Hey, Hong Kong is closed today, is it? Hey, today is closed. I thought it's open. Am I correct? Open right? Okay, a bit delayed by a few seconds. Okay, Hong Kong is open. Okay, now it's trading. Okay, Hong Kong is trading between the two pivot. Okay, today is an inverse pivot. I repeat, guys, today is an inverse pivot. The pivot 1 and pivot 2, they actually switch position. Okay? So a switch position means what? That means that the market is going to be very, very sensitive. So if the market stays above OP, it will drag towards this guy here as well, pivot to 24,778. If the market basically goes down, it will come down this point here, and that's 24,332. Now, do note once again, the KSI is red in color. So that means that the probability of the market going down to this point here, 24,332, is going to be much higher. All right. But of course, we have to watch the OP to decide. The OP is the opening price of the day. Now, this morning, the Hang Seng actually gapped down. Now, Friday, on the last Thursday, we closed at 24,464. This morning, gapped down by about 60 points. All right. So it's not a lot because we have the Dow recovering on Friday. So we will observe this further, but do note because there's no the Shanghai market is China market is closed today, so there will be no much influence from there. But as long as the US market is moving in a certain direction, it will likely follow. So in the US Dow Jones now, we are seeing like right now it's down by about 200 points on the high this morning. Then most likely the Hang Seng will be going down towards 24,332, which are now almost there itself. Let's go to the 5-minute chart to see clearer. We are almost there. Okay, as you can see live on the chart right now, this is the Hang Seng, and it's a red bar, and most likely it's going to tap on. Now you can see that once I flip the chart over, right, all the KTRs, all the pivot levels are all done already, calculated for you. So for TWB students, they just have to follow through and trade according to plan. All right, we are just, marginally away from the technical point at 24,332. All right, let's see whether it will hit there. Now, what will likely be happening is this, okay? If the market basically hit this point, it will start to swivel a bit because it's a stack over here. 2 lines very nearby, it will be a stack. Then it may actually create a rebound from here. But if the market chooses to go down easily, it will come down to this point. This point is 24,238. I believe that if the market really smash down, break below the pivot 1, most likely it will go for this 24,238 level. Okay, so we will see how it goes. Right, thank you, Eric and Jerry. We will see how it goes. We come back to this. All right, we go back to the news first. Okay. Okay, so what we need to know about some news, we need to take note of this. This is actually pretty dangerous. Now, China has repeatedly done this incursion. All right, now for some reason, the Chinese Air Force keep on going into the Taiwan airspace area. All right, now we all know that this is done during the. It's not the first time doing this. In fact, we all know that China just had the holiday. I mean, the national day. And usually, in order to show their supremacy, especially towards Taiwan, they do that. Okay, so let me show you the map. Now, this is not from CNBC. I got it from somewhere else. You can see that this is Taiwan, and you can see that this is where China airplane purposely, fly pretty near towards Taiwan. They didn't go so near to the point of like, wow, threaten the airspace. Because if they do that, right, Taiwan can technically retaliate. All right. But it's still really done on purpose. You can see that I'm trying to tell you that I'm here and not here, that feeling. So this is what they did. And of course, it's just like 90 kilometers away. So this is 90 miles, sorry. So it's like definitely it's not a very friendly thing. Okay, you can see that yourself. So FYI, this is the thing that is happening right now. And they are trying to tell Taiwan, tell China to just go off. This is the plane that they use. So you can see that it's not very friendly. And of course, China didn't comment. So previously, they say that they're trying to protect the country's sovereignty. We all know that they are trying to tell people that Taiwan belongs to China. And of course, Taiwan refused to accept this fact. And that is whereby now, you can see a lot of countries are standing between sides. But of course, most countries now are standing on the side of Taiwan. So you can see that seemingly is trying to test the patience of China. So of course, end of the day is this, people are trying to watch this very closely. All right, that's one. Then of course, Joe Biden, top trade advisor, will say China isn't complying with phase one. Okay, reached with on Donald Trump. All right, so apparently it's all right. The so-called phase one thing that Donald Trump has tried to do with China until today seemingly is not being complied by China. So again, it shows that China is not very happy with what's going on right now, and they're also retaliating one way and another. So FYI, it's all right. This is not good because in both countries, these two big countries, one biggest importer, one bigger exporter, if they're not able to come to terms, right, it's not going to be healthy for global growth, right? So there's one news to watch out. Now for Singapore, this is good news, all right? For the second straight day, we have still 2,000 infected cases, but we are reduced. The high was almost 3,000. That was freaking everybody out. 292 something. That was a high back then. But now the number came off quite dramatically. All right. So maybe really our this little measurement has helped us. So maybe the government is correct. This heightened measurement really helped us to reduce. So we can only cross our fingers and pray that everything goes fine. But because you look at this, the cases in ICU that need oxygen supplementation itself in intensive care is still climbing. All right. So still not very good. Okay. And the number of hospital beds being used is about this figure here itself, nearly about 1,004 beds. Now, I just did a check. We have a lot of beds, so don't worry about that. No need to panic. And of course, they'll try to send people back home that they can actually rest at home. So for Singapore side, it's a good news because what we want is something like this because we are a very pretty small country. If every day cases go up by 2,000 to 3,000, right, just a matter of time, we're all going to get it, right? Because that's what our minister said, Lawrence Wong. Lawrence Wong says that, right, it's just a matter of time that many Singaporeans will be ending up catching the COVID-19. So that, but this is only it's just going to touch and go. You say that majority of us will just recover from home a few days later. So that's why he said that 98% of the cases that experience 0 to mild symptoms. So this is not a bad news. So even though you're COVID, but because of vaccination, your age-wise itself is still into the younger range, you should be pretty safe. Okay. So this morning, I purposely watched this. That is from Jack Neo. He interviewed this doctor, Liang Haonan, Yisan. I think you've seen him quite a few times, right? So, I watched this an 1 hour interview. Of course, our last 45 minutes more important. The first 15 minutes, Jack Neo was trying to gather people in. So in short, it's all right. I really watched it, hear it this morning, and the doctor just say one simple thing. Look, most likely we'll all get it. Most likely it's all right. We're talking about 6.5 million people in Singapore all get it. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, his very own words. But the thing is this, as long as we have ample rest and we drink loads of water, okay, I repeat, loads and loads of water, you should be fine. In fact, he was just joking and said that actually, even if you get the virus, you come to the hospital, there's nothing you can do, but they'll just make you drink a lot of water and then you recover from there. Okay, so he felt a bit redundancy here. Now, of course, he did share about some medicine that's available in the market, but it costs a lot of money and it's definitely limited. And of course, it also because it's only meant for really serious cases. So if you think that you want to watch this conversation, I think it's pretty candid because most doctors, they won't really tell you outright thing. He's pretty candid and of course added some jokes in between. So if you want to watch this, you can go to my Kelvin Hunt, my Facebook, or you can go to Jack Neo and watch this interview. All right, pretty decent, but he's Chinese, something all of that. Okay, all right. So that is something we need to know. Let's look at the important market information for reference. Now, today got 5 big articles to share with you. So let's spend some time on this. Now, first of all, Cathie Wood. Now, Cathie Wood is now in the woods because apparently, right, her ARK innovation since July, that means 2 months ago, until today has dropped from $130, has dropped all the way to $110, or simply put, has lost about 18%. About 18%. So why is that so? It's because she had pretty big losses in her ARK innovation portfolio, like Bickley, Light, Skills, Zoom Video, Fate Therapeutic, Roku, Zillow, right? All these companies are down by about 30 to 50%. Wow, that is not very good. So obviously, when these companies are not doing well, it's all right. Her portfolio got hit because she basically support quite a bit of companies here and there. I mean, she's like the Warren Buffett, but the one that really just casts a big net and see which one get hit and then just focus on that one. So because of she's doing that itself, right? The stunner is that she actually sold off Tesla. So in fact, itself, she sold off about $209 million worth of Tesla. Okay. Now the reason is that it's quite a bit contradictory because she said that Tesla will go up to 3,000, and today Tesla is only like 700 plus. So why is she selling when she's telling the whole world to buy? And she said that, oh no, because you know what, we trim a little bit because we want to use some money now to buy something else. But the question is that I thought she has a lot of money still. I thought that her portfolio was still not money left. So I kind of mixed back here, but of course I didn't go detail. If I go detail, maybe I will know better. So this is this is her portfolio. She basically has Tesla, Shopify, Square, Zoom, Twilio, DocuSign, and so Twitter, Palantir, Coinbase. So these are the company that she has. This is the how they perform, and you can see that Zoom was bad, Twilio was bad, and of course Twitter was bad. So all these companies basically hold down the entire portfolio. But for Tesla, it's still okay. Well, it went up by 14%. So why is she selling? All right. So to her point is this: she felt that right, there's going to be a period of deflation coming in. And if she's right, that means that she will be making more money because she's just rotating funds out to do this growth stocks. All right, now of course her other 4 ETFs are also underperforming. Up Next Generation Internet is down by 10%, Genomic Revolution down by 20%, and of course FinTech Innovation ETF is down by 9%. The one that only making money now is Autonomous Technology and Robotic ETF is up by 2%, but it's drastically underperforming because the S&P and the Nasdaq is way up, so up by 20% for the year. So, well, maybe last year she made too much money. This year she's too uncapped, too what do you call reckless? We don't know, right? I'll leave it there. Now, of course, we have Chamath. She also sold off his Tesla, but the thing is this: he sold off last year. Accordingly, okay, he said that he sold off Tesla last year. So why is people dumping Tesla? So the question mark is not too sure why, but definitely so we do know that Tesla recently, the stock price have been pretty sideways, but let's take a look at Tesla. Okay, let me bring Tesla in right now. Okay, so Tesla share recently went up $7.99, and then it came down a little bit to about $7.63. So the thing is that if you look carefully at Tesla, the entire period, right? So it doesn't show me that this counter is going to go down. At least from July until now, this counter has been going up, and every time it hit the moving average, it recovers. So cannot see why was the reason for doing that. But what Chamath said, he sell off last year. So if you talk about last year itself, let's take a look. Now last year was a pretty good year. All right, you can take a look. Last year itself, right? If you sell, let's say we stopped about in December last year, he was sold about 616. While the price went up to as high as 800. But the thing is, I didn't he tell the whole world he's with Tesla. So you see, this is why you cannot really trust what the boys are all saying. Yeah, I'm quite sure during this period of time he was talking about Tesla is good. He didn't say own Tesla, he just said Tesla is good. But he said last year he sold, then why he left so much money on the table. And now he is like telling people that the way that he sell, but you know, this and that. But if you look at the chart wise, I think this is one thing you can take a look at, everybody. You can see this. This is the technical of this. Okay. Oh, sorry. You know, hold on. All right. This is a Fibo channel. You can see that. So if you look at it itself, right? If you look at the market, if it's going to continue its channel movement, maybe it'll go up like this, okay? So, and then you pull back itself, right? It'll be somewhere near the MA itself. So about 730. So 730 will be a good level to look out for Tesla if, let's say, this uptrend channel continue, okay? All right, pretty cool. This is the one from trading view, pretty cool charting software. Okay. All right, now the thing is this, while we are having this little problem in the market itself, right? This guy, okay, this particular guy itself, right? Phil Orlando, he is saying that he's a long time bull, okay, long time market bullish. He's saying that there will be a 10% correction. So what happened is that this guy's chief market strategist, he felt that, right, there will be a pullback soon. And you can see that this is how it looks like. And this is, he believed that the pullback is basically created by the big tech. He believed that because of the current fiscal policy that might be reduced, and this will create an air pocket of 5 to 10% movement downwards. Okay, so that's why people like him doing that. And also with Jeremy Segal, he was saying that, right? So two big bull traders all saying that. Okay, but before you jump in to sell, but the strategies that some people who say that, hey, you know what, it's actually okay. So what he's trying to say that now Bespoke basically says that is an investment group analyzes the behavior S&P 500. They felt that, right, yes, indeed, the market will be down in October, but the quarterly, usually the year to year, the quarterly itself, right, last quarter, fourth quarter will be still good. So they are saying that the overall movement is still better than usual. Hence, therefore, even though there is stock market crash in 1929 and 1987, but usually the month of October is good. And I did explain to you last week during MAO, I tell you that, yeah, indeed, usually the month of October will be down first, then it will recover. And of course, as long as we don't know about any big major crash, usually by the end of the month, October, it ended well. So that's the reason why I say that if we follow by the book, we could see further potential. All right, so let's look at the Hang Seng right now. Wow, look at it. The Hang Seng really came down. As I told you, the Hang Seng, I told you once it breaks this point here itself, P1, it will go down to KTR -2. I showed you live earlier, and I told you that most likely after that, the market may rebound, and it's really happening. Wow, congratulations once again for people who remember this. All right, so you can see that very important. All right, how come no one text me and update me about Hang Seng movement today? I thought I received some text, and now we see, oh, okay lah, can it doesn't matter. Anyway, for those who have traded on Hang Seng, congratulations to you once again. I was waiting for some update. Then I see, hey, how come no one updating me? Yeah, okay, never mind, it's fine. So anyway, this is the market right now for the Hong Kong. The market came down. Yeah, indeed. Yes, thank you. Hey, brother, how are you, man? Yao Tong. Right. All right, brother Yao Tong here. All right, indeed. Yes, I called for sell just now, and indeed, I said that you go to KTR -2, and indeed, it really happened. So congratulations for those who have made money from the Hong Kong market. Well done once again. Okay, cool, bro. Good to see you. All right, so that was happened in the Hong Kong market. Let's go back to the charts, to the news. All right, so some people are actually pretty bullish. They say that the market slide is probably temporary and valuation is still there. And they felt that, right, you know, it's a time to look out for a good time to buy. So you see, guys, I don't only show you the negative picture, I show you the positive picture. I also tell you that some of the bulls and some of the bears. So over here itself, they felt that, right, the market has caught down recently and it's a good time now to buy. So there are people saying that because you can see the S&P forward 12-month EPS is now below, it's above. So usually the EPS should be above, should be actually the one supporting the S&P. But now the S&P goes down, right? The last time we see something like this, take a look, everybody. The last time we see something like this was here, right? You can see that. That was back in 2020 when it was here and here. So each time when it go down, right, you can see what happened. The market actually rebound. So they are saying that this is a good time to buy. So you can see two camps. Some people will call for sell. Some people will call for buy, because some will tell you that, oh, because the market now loses the forward 12-month EPS, that means that the market has some news of it, they're going to sell ahead of it. Some people say that no, the market went overdone, so which means that the market is just overdoing it, and therefore the market will recover. So what do you think, guys? What do you think? Okay, so if you look at the thing here itself, this is the trading advisor equity exposure. At the moment now, you can see that the National Association of Active Investment Managers, the NAAIM, all right, is saying that most of them is looking at down. Now, if you notice this chart itself, it's quite interesting. Now, whenever this chart shows that the market is like, this active money managers, they are at the lower, looking at the lower point, right? Usually the market will rebound. So you can see that when you come to this point again, the market will rebound. So what they're trying to say is now we are back here again. So what's the probability? Well, based on the last few rounds, it seems that it should rebound, right? Technically, it should rebound. This is what the boys are betting on. But of course, if you also notice that was also the time whereby if the market loses it, it will go down all the way. So I would rather play the devil advocate. I would rather wait over here, which means that I want the market to really, really sell down heavily, all right? Okay, and then after that, go in to buy when the market comes down. I just saw a news from our online online Facebook group. Liu said that Hong Kong Exchange suspended trading of Evergrande Group. Well, okay, so what happened there? So, okay, so why would they want to suspend it? Is that because they know something that we don't know? Okay, this is kind of scary though. Yeah, because I mentioned to you before not to buy, wait for a while. So let's see, let me just check the chart right now. It should be able to reflect on trading view. For 1 minute and bring it in right now. Thanks, Liu, for sharing that. Okay, let me just key in. There we go. Clear out the charts a little bit. Okay, it seems like the price is not moving anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it seems that the price is not moving not moving anymore. Yeah, because if it's moving, it will be moving. Okay, that means that there's some stock there itself. No news yet. Okay, thank you very much. Right, thank you, Liu. All right, thank you. This Fred also for telling me today there's a bond repayment too. Yeah, they got many to go. Thank goodness. Okay, anyway, my point is this, regardless itself, right? Okay, if let's say the Chinese government come in to support it, that'd be good. But I strongly believe that they won't. I repeat, I strongly believe that they won't. And even they do, they will only support the local scene, all right, not the foreign side. I'm pretty sure that if you look at the way they are doing, it's going to be very tough. Okay, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Fred, to confirm that itself. Okay, so this is one thing to look at for, and also this is the call into question retail as top the options market. So you can see that the retail options trading volume has also reduced rather significantly. So when the retailers are actually getting out, right, then the question is the boys, are they going in? Okay, now usually in a bullish market, it will deliver such a thing. So let's take a look here. In January, it hit the bottom, right? And that was where the market rebounded for the US market. Then, of course, in the August time, it also did the same thing. So the question is, now we are almost back to the same level. Are we going to see the same thing? So I'm going to say this up front. Now, if the market is a bullish position and the retailers are now dumping because the market pulled back a little bit, it's very normal for retailers to sell their position when the price is coming down. And it's very normal for the big boys to go in to buy and absorb. But if the market is going to sell down bigger, if the market is sell down in a bigger way, then that means that if the big boys are not buying, the institutions are buying, and the retailers are not buying, then we will see a pretty incredible potential free fall. I repeat, we might see an incredible free fall in the market, and that is something that you don't want to be caught by that itself. You understand my point? Because if you and me, and if let's say last time when you guys are when the market comes down, right, the boys are buying and retail are getting out, the market will recover because that's where the boys will take advantage of the retailer. But if let's say now the boys have got out and they're not buying and they're calling for sell, and the retailer also calling for sell, or they're not coming in, then we have negative and negative. No, it's going to explode, that. They're going to make it very big negative. And that's why I suspect that there could be some selling later the next few days, especially if there's going to be some negative news. But once it comes to that point itself, right, it comes to the where we call it as a good level to buy, down 8%, down by 10% itself, that is the time to buy. Can you understand what I'm trying to say over here as well? So I repeat myself one more time. I suspect that the market will go down, maybe from the highest point, okay, it may go down all the way to down by 8% to 10%. Okay, that's my range I've been saying for quite some time already. And once that happens itself, right, it will be a good time to look for buy because I suspect the market will recover after that. You got an idea now? If you understand what I just say, please key the word understand or understood. All right, please do that so that we all is on the same page over here. All right. Yeah, please do that. If you understand what I just say, please key understood. All right. Wow, I see that the Hong Kong market is still coming down rather fiercely. Yeah, and also see that the US market is coming down quite a bit already. Wow, incredible. Some real volatility is happening right now in the market. For those who are, trading, please take advantage of this. Make as much money as you can. Yeah, I've been telling you guys, make money. Yeah, make loads of money from the market. Don't give the market a chance because you've been waiting for this. So take full advantage of that. All right. Well, my phone is never stopped. It's been ringing non-stop. Wow, 47 messages already. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Jerry, Lewis, Angeline. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay. Wait, something wrong. Okay. All right. Now, Jim Cramer. I thought that he's a bullish guy. Now he says that now he's keeping new money. So old money stuck. Okay. New money on the side until the stock sell-off ends. Okay. This is from Jim Cramer. And he is telling you that, you know what, go slow. Now, of course, this is actually done on September 28. I need to correct this. This was actually mentioned on September 28 last month, okay? But I just want you to cover this because I want to just share with you, right, why is he telling you to wait for a while and he thinks that you shouldn't be going in. So what's the reason for the downturn is the one that I want to mention because he feels that there's the accelerating of the inflation that's going on in the world. He believes that the natural gas soaring is not a good sign. He believes that the supply chain is a total nightmare, I told you before, and the COVID-induced labor shortage is definitely a big problem, and the impact of infrastructure bill that's not able to come out, and the chip shortage is a big issue. Now, overall, it's all right. All these are reality. Now, inflation is not going to help the world. In fact, it will starve it temporarily. So that's the reason why I tell you that this inflation is not going to be nice. Then, of course, the natural gas is going up in some of the countries like UK and some of the countries in America, some of the states itself, right? The price is going up so fast that it becomes very difficult for people to even consider to do any form of logistics supply. Hence, therefore, you think about this. If let's say people need the product and the gasoline price is so high and stuff, but they still deliver to you, then they have to check out the price. And if everybody check the price in between the supply chain itself, right? Then I'm going to tell you this. It will cost so much money that the consumer will be very pissed and there will be a problem. And this is what's happening right now. So now think about this. If this is going to continue, if this problem continue and the whole supply chain get in serious trouble, economically it is not able to start things moving, then what do you think the Federal Reserve will do? Will they taper or will they actually pump in more money? You see, but they don't taper, the inflation goes higher. If they taper, the inflation goes higher. But if they don't do it, it go even higher. So how? No matter how they are doing it, whether which way they choose this time around, right, they are in a definite jinx position. That's the reason why I believe strongly that the next 3 months to next 6 months, commodity prices will go up. I repeat one more time. I strongly believe that the next 3 months or 6 months, commodity price will go up because the dollar will likely, after a while, depreciate in value, and that will bring things go way skyrocket. All right, so that's why Jeremy Segal, all right, he repeated this. He came back in and he reminded people that this is the video part, the one I show you, right? He predicted the Dow will hit 35,000 in January 4th, right? Do note, in January this year, Jeremy Segal, he predicted that the Dow will hit 35,000, and he really did it because at the time, the Dow Jones was only like 32,000. So he was perfect, spot on, okay? But now, today, he's saying that no, this is a problem right now, and we're going to see the impact on growth stocks, particularly technology. And he felt that, right, the heavy tech-heavy Nasdaq, which is 5% away from its all-time high, is going to have sharp losses. Okay, now this is a very heavy statement from Jeremy Segal. Do understand this. And if you look back now, why this this Chamath and why this Cathie Wood, you look at Warren Buffett, all of them are liquefying their position in Tesla and Apple, probably tells you something already. So of course, again, when I say this, not many people like it, but I'm just informing you what we are seeing right now. And these are the top-notch people. And very interesting, he is bullish in gold. I repeat, he is bullish in gold. He says that, remember inflation in 1970s, everybody turned to gold. They turned to be a collectible. They are precious metal. But now today we have digital world, we have Bitcoin, and people is ignoring gold. So he says that, right, apparently now if Bitcoin wasn't around, people have bought gold a long time ago. But because Bitcoin is around, the funds is kind of separated. But he believed that this is a time to buy gold. And he says that, right, it's not a time to jump into, he also not put off the jump in real estate prices. He don't think it's a bubble. There is something, he believes that it will then the mortgage rate will then the real estate, but he still thinks that, right, in the long haul, real estate and REITs is still a good asset buy, but maybe he can just wait for a while. Okay, so this is Jeremy Segal. He is the guy who predicted the predicted the upside of the Dow Jones. He's a guy who basically tell you when to buy. He's a guy who have been pretty accurate on the where to sell. So now he's telling us that, hey, be careful on Nasdaq, okay? So think about this and see whether you believe what he said. All right. Okay, so guys, thank you until now. All right, now we're gonna go live into the so-called the charts, and we see what's happening right now. Huh? Okay. Wow, what happened? Hong Kong have went down lower. I think the news about Evergrande that is suspended, and that's where you can see the Hong Kong share market came down. All right, it was closed at 24,472. I mentioned to you, most likely there will be more selling in the Hong Kong market, and indeed it really happened, because I mentioned to you that today is an inverse pivot. Inverted pivot means that if the market drags below the pivot 1, usually the selling will be there. And I also tell you, because the KSI is red in color, so the selling doubled up. Okay, so how low would it go? I cannot tell you, because you notice that on my screen right now, right, very scary, but you do not see any form of support level anywhere. And if you remember, I did say this before in the previous MAO. I did say that if the market is to go down further, the Hang Seng has the potential to go down to this point, and that's 22,735. Remember? And I did say to some of you who are my students, I said that if the Hang Seng do come down to 22,735, I will definitely give you a little gift. All right, remember that? Yeah. So is this going to be the starting sign? I'm not too sure, but if this ended this way, this will create a CCYR on the chart, and this may not look very nice. Okay. All right. So that is the Hang Seng long-term view. All right. Let's look at the whole market right now from US market first. Okay. Now, first of all, this is this morning Dow Jones. Okay, let's just be more objective in our sharing. Now, first of all, this is the MA30 level. So this is the MA30. Now we look at the MA200 level. The 200 level, oh my goodness, opening price is the MA200 level today. So the MLP for today will be somewhere near here. This is the MLP. Okay, so let's just read this objectively. Let's understand this. Okay, first of all, this is the 95% marker. Right, taking the historical high, we did the 95% marker. So which means that we did the high multiplied by 0.95, we get this 95%. And usually the 5% is considered a pullback, not correction. So it pulls back here, okay, and then once it reaches the 95%, it recovers. But instead of going higher, it got rejected at the MA30 level, as you can see very clear. And then it went back down. I remember that I told you it will come back down to the 95%, which very incredibly, it happened again. All right, exactly what happened on about 2-3 weeks ago, and rebounded. So by right, if we follow the script, it should come back up again to this point, right? It should go back to the MA30 level. The MA30 level today is 34,585 level. That is the MA30 level. But you can see that the market did not hit the MA30. It stopped exactly at the MA200. Now we use MA200 and MA30 as a guidance, all right? Why we utilize it, join us in TWB, will tell you more. But that is what is happening right now. And you can see that the Dow is pulling off this morning already. So not a very nice sign. The MLP for today is a mid-level price is 34,090. Okay, so to put it simply, let's understand this. The Dow Jones now has to cross above opening price or 34,323 to regain its upside. So only if the Dow does that. Now, if the Dow can do that and recover above 34,323, then it will go back up to 34,585 level. Okay, so that is the upside on the Dow Jones. The downside is going to be another story. If the market currently stays down, as we are seeing on the screen right now, the support level will be at 34,090 level. The support will be at 34,090 level. And it has to stay there. It has to firm itself around there. Because if the market doesn't firm at 34,090, the selling could be detrimental. It could sell down quite a fair bit. All right, so traders, you must watch out for that stuff. Okay, traders, must watch out. Okay, all right, just take note of that. Wow, the Hang Seng is still selling off. My goodness, what is happening right now? It's the go-go bonkers. Okay, anyway, this is my sharing here. So watch out for the market momentum at the moment. Okay, so 34,090 will be the support for today. Very important. If the market still go down further, then it will likely be testing this again, which is 33,835. So right now, all for you, okay? Dow Jones, okay, now take a look again. 34,323 is the MA 200. Okay, wait, let me write down for you. The MA 30 will be estimated at 34,588. Okay, downside support MLP is 34,090. Important. If not, can see 33,835. Okay, here we go. Now, I think probably the only one in Singapore that does this so early in the morning. Even mainstream media, they don't do charting so detailed. So I'm the only one in Singapore that does this, all right? So hopefully you guys will benefit out of it and make money on your own, all right? Of course, you make money if you want to come and join us, then of course do it. If you think that it's okay, well, I can pick this free gift, then every Monday we do this live for all the Trade with the Boys members. But I do this daily for my own student. Every day I do this, okay? All right, every day. Now, the weekly chart itself doesn't look pretty at all. The weekly chart shows that this is actually a new BNB. So I need to move my charts right now, a new BNB in the market, and move it around. So what you can see that the market has really broken the short-term trend line, so I'll remove it already. So the long-term trend line is over here. You can see that, and the market beautifully has broken the long-term trend line. But you can see that the market is still trying to hold itself down. Do note the market has been holding, okay, holding around this area for about, how many weeks is that? Let me just take a look here. So let's make a simple one. Wow, the market has been doing this for 27 weeks. For 27 weeks, the market has been sideways, ranging between 35,300 to 33,500 level. So if we will do a bit of box area, that means that we do a bit of box area. If the market really goes down, you go down by one box area, so it's somewhere around here, right? That means that we are talking about the Dow Jones, okay? We're talking about Dow Jones going down. If it goes down and break the box, it can go down to about 31,300 level, around there, around there. So you think that will happen? Okay, this is what we are seeing. So of course, it can work both sides. If the market recover and break the box here itself, then of course it will go up the same type of magnitude, and that will likely be, let me see, that will be another, you may hit to at least 37,000. Okay, so it's either that we see 37,000 traded, or we see 31,300 traded. Okay, this is the box area that we are looking at right now. Okay, cool. Now, once again, just do note, even the market really go down, all right, I still think that it'll be a good time to buy from the bottom once opportunity arrives. So don't think that just want to short all the way down, consider to do something about this, okay? All right. Okay, let's look at the Dow Jones with the TWB system chart right now. Let me just bring it to you. Okay, so this morning for all of my students, take note, all my mentee. All right, this morning the opening price of the Dow Jones was above pivot 1. So by right, above pivot 1, above OP is a buy. But because the KSI is red in color, we always use the one before that, not the current one. The KSI is red in color. Therefore, right, the upside will be limited. And if the market goes below P1, that means that this will cancel off the buy signal, and that will bring the Dow further. Now, if you notice this today, the range is pretty scary. The range is up to 33,202. That means that we are talking about this entire range is a 900-point range. Are you kidding me? Are we talking about today the Dow Jones will go down by 900 points? Now, I'm not saying that it will, but anything is all possible in this current financial market right now. So let's play safe. I believe you go down, but I don't think you'll see 900 points. But the charts does tell you that if, let's say, it happened, it can go down. Wow. Okay, so finger crossed, okay? Finger crossed. All right. If the market recover, then things is safe. If you can recover back above 34,167, then everything is safe. So traders, just kindly take note today, the TWB system chart do show some very spooky thingy here. So I was kind of like, oh wow, okay, a little bit of scary, yeah? Okay, all right, so let's look at the Nasdaq, shall we? The Nasdaq now, the Nasdaq, very clear. We are seeing something very different. Now the Nasdaq high, it happened back then like the Dow, but it came down much faster. And when it came to the 95% mark, it stalled there and recovered. And the thing is this, the same thing actually happened. It went up, it got resisted at the MA30, but this time round, it goes down very fast. And the MA200 is way at the bottom. It's very different from the Dow Jones one. So now today, the MA30, oops, oh my God, wait, gosh. Okay, here we go. The MA, wait, hold on. Okay. The MA30 is here. The MA200 is here. So what is here? The level is, the MA200 is 14,478 level. Okay, the MLP for today, the mid-level price is here. And that's 14,740. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that, oops, sorry. It means that if the market cannot stay above 14,740, as you can see right now, there is a possibility for the Nasdaq to come down to 14,478 level. Okay, it is possible. So that is what we are seeing right now with the Nasdaq. Okay, using the moving averages and stuff like that. Okay, now we look at the TWB chart. The Nasdaq today is actually very interesting. It's supposed to be a buy today. Today is a color change red to yellow is a buy today. Red to yellow is a buy, but the KSI is red, so the downside pressure is there. So now what are we seeing is, as long as the Nasdaq stays below OP, which is 14,783, the market cannot go up. And if it goes down, it will have to stay supported at 14,650. It has to stay support at 14,650. Only if it stays above 650, the market can actually rebound. If the market doesn't and goes below it, right, then of course the selling could bring it down all the way to 14,552 level. So traders, once again, you have to watch the market, you have to watch it carefully and see how the market performed today. But Nasdaq is a CCRY, so above OP, you have to look for buy opportunity. Okay, S&P 500. Now S&P 500 was beautiful. Look at it. It smashed down below the MA200 and then recovered beautifully. So in terms of today's action, we can see that this is the MA30 level. This is the MA200 level. And you also can see that this is the today MLP. Okay, hold on, let me remove some of the lines away. MLP for today is somewhere around here. So which means that it's very near to the 95% mark. Now let's understand this again. This is the high. This is the 95% mark. The market came down, touches 95%, rebounded, hit MA30, rejected, and come back down to 95% mark, and then rebounded again. So once again, if the market loses this 95% mark, it's almost pretty clear that it will go to test 43.24 again. and that is the MA 200 level. All right, so this is something to really watch out for. The market has to stay above 43.24 today for the S&P 500. Okay, guys, this is, you can see me that I'm actually repeating myself throughout, but that's how our TWB system works, as long as we follow the rules. So now the thing is this, the scary part on S&P right now, we can see. If the S&P now, to give us a better form, the 43.38 level is so critically supported now. As you can see right now, it's happening. Now, if the market fails and loses 43.38 level, oh my God, this could be a free fall all the way to 42.33 level. Now, that is a lot. That means that the market had to go down by 100 points. Now, 100 points is about 800 points on the Dow. I repeat. So it seemed to be actually, you know, like two different charts, but two similar potential movement. Earlier itself, I told you, right, if the Dow Jones come down, it can go down by 900 points. Now, based on what I know, if the S&P go down by 100 points from where we are now, it can go down by 100 points, and that's loosely translated to about 850 points. That means that if this is down by 100 points of the S&P, is loosely translated to about minus 850 points for the Dow Jones. And that is actually in line with what I just said earlier for the Dow chart. So you do understand the US, the TWB chart itself, they work on different things. They draw the charts based on whatever it's looking at. So the point is this: the S&P chart and the Dow chart actually have the same up forecast today if the market stays down. So that's why I strongly want to tell all my friends and traders this: today could be a very good day for trading. Do not miss out today. It's going to be pretty scary. And if the market really go down in the type of magnitude, wow, there's a lot of money to be made from the sell side and the buy side. Okay, do understand that. This is why am I sharing this, and I didn't done it on purpose to do live today to tell you this, but seemingly it's showing itself. So traders, you may want to really take advantage of this thing and make as much money as you can, because the such thing don't come every single day. All right, traders, got it? For those who got it, it's all right. Please key the word got it. If you got it right, please key the word got it. I'm still receiving a lot of messages from some friends asking me about my view today, and I just tell them, say today I'm more towards a sell than a buyer today. Yeah, I'm just texting them the same thing right now. Am I talking to you? Now, again, my job is to just tell you what I see from the market. Your job, you make your final decision. Okay, I cannot make decision for you. You have to think carefully and see whether whatever we share here make any sense to you, and then you just have to buy it. Huh? Okay, all right. Wow, so many messages. Oh my God, non-stop at all. My goodness, receiving so many messages. Jeez. Sorry, let me just finish up this message. I'm literally just copy and paste, literally. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this session here today. I'm equally enjoying my session. Of course, I'd rather do more trading than doing this. Okay, all right, this is S&P 500. Let's look at the DAX. Now, the DAX, wow, you look at it. Now, I really love my technical analysis because when it happened, right, it looks so beautiful. Now, remember this, I told you about DAX. I mentioned to you DAX has a very interesting neckline. I repeat, DAX has a very interesting neckline. This neckline came from here. This is from the point the neckline came, and the market got supported over here. Can you see that? And then it came down almost there, good enough for me. And then recently, perfect. And on Friday, it happened again. So this is a very, very powerful neckline at 15,030. Now, of course, if you say that this neckline is about 15,000, yeah, psychologically it's like that. So the whole range of this neckline to the high, if you notice this, the high itself is 16,033. Oh my goodness. So this is a 1,000 point neckline. Okay, 1,000 point neckline. Okay, so when a market behaves at a high and a neckline, I always like to do the devil advocate. I believe that if the market is to flip it down, it will work the same way. So which means that if the market loses the 15,030 level, it will likely be going down to 14,030 level. Okay, this is how I believe in this. And you notice that if I put the chart down to 14,030, and if the market go down by 1,000 point, example, this is the common line that we have before the market shoot up. So it does make some sense that if the market is to bring down and go down to this point here of 14,033, then it will likely bring it back down to this neckline here, and this will create a very good opportunity to buy again over here. And how can the DAX go down by how can DAX go down by 1,000 points? Well, the only answer is that if the Dow Jones go down by 900 points or more, it's only that is only possible. But if you look at it from one angle itself, right, I don't think we see 14,030, but we see this will be much easier. This figure here at 90%. Can you see that? This is the 90% mark, which is 14,430. Now, if the Dow Jones were to bring down by let's say 900 points, mathematically, it's much easier for the DAX to come down to 14,430. Then we may see a coordinated buyout together. You understand? So I rather believe that this will likely be happening. All right, I rather believe that this is happening. So 14,430 will be a much more higher potential chance, and that's a 90%. 90% is always a good level to look for buying. Yeah, okay, cool. Pretty cool, right? Okay, that is DAX. Then look at the Nikkei. Now this is the Nikkei. Let's bring it in. Now the Nikkei literally collapsed today. I told you that Nikkei will likely be pulling back substantially itself, and it really happened. You can see that this morning the Nikkei opened up here, and we have the MA200 as 28,820. I told you before, if the market loses this 820, it will go down further, and it may go down all the way to 28,088. Do you remember that? For those who remember that I say that the Nikkei will hit 28,088, can you put the weight Nikkei, remember? I told you, right, if the Nikkei is to come down, it will come down to 28,088, and we are like probably 400 points away. So will that be happening? Well, I believe that it will happen. So let's see how it goes. For 1 minute, huh? Okay, all right, so this is the Nikkei. Now, if the Nikkei do come down to this point, I suspect it may do a rebound over here. So only if the Nikkei go down to 28,088. Huh? Okay, all right. Wow, Hong Kong continue to fall. Oh my goodness, let's take a look at Hong Kong again. Whew. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, Hong Kong continue to plunge. Now it's already down by how many points? Let's take a look. Hong Kong is now already down by almost 600 points already. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. And we're talking about China market not open today. So I cannot imagine when China market open on next week itself, right? And if this is going to be worse, this will really crash the whole market itself for Asia side. So yeah, you know, I'm kind of worried for this ongoing right now. Okay, let's look at the. I finished all the. I finished the Nikkei. Oh, sorry, I need to do Nikkei day chart on. Nikkei day chart today, very nice. It broke below the pivot 1, and it's going to go to pivot 2 and 28,294. It's going down towards there itself. Okay, so I finished all the equity market. Let's look at the commodity market, which is primary gold, silver, and crude. Okay, let's go and look at gold first. Now, first of all, gold is having resistance. Okay, now look at it, everybody. Those are gold chart, right? Gold trade, gold bucks. Now we know that there is a Fibonacci at 1762, and I did tell you that 1762 have been very strong resistant over the last 2 trading days. So as long as gold cannot cross over 1762 convincingly, it will become resistant and it will pull it back down again. So if you pull it back down again, gold may come back down to about 1745 level around there. Okay, but if gold can cross above 1762, then very naturally the first target it will go is 1769, and this number is based on the MA30. All right, MA30 1769. We mentioned this the last few days. It's the same thing number. Watch out for 1769. Okay, very important level. Now, if the market can cross 1769, then we can see going higher. So if that is the case, just a cover bit here. If the market can cross 1769, then it's going to be very clear. It's going for 1796 level. Okay, so let me just key for you gold. Gold. Okay, Fibo resistance at 1762 and MA30 at 1769. Okay, once it cross MA30, the next level is MA200 at 1796. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is what we are seeing right now for the for gold. Okay, right. The support is 1745. All right, right now. Okay, support 1745. Okay, got the idea? Yeah, pretty cool, right? Yes, indeed. Okay, so that is gold. So gold will be the 1762 is a very strong resistance by the Fibonacci level. It has to cross so that we can see further upside. Okay, weekly chart itself, we are still having a bit of resistance, but we are near there already. Today, 1763 is a technical cross line between for the technical trend line. So 1762 is Fibonacci, 1763 is the trend line. So in short itself, if the market can go past 1764, which he tried this morning and failed, he had to try again. But if it goes past it itself, right, and close above 1764, then gold is start to move already. Now I am getting nearer and nearer, getting more and more positive with gold price. And I think that right, this could be the turning point that we're all waiting for. All right, once the market crosses over 1764 for the weekly trend line, we should be able to see 1820 again. All right, this is the level that I really want gold to challenge. Okay, all right, let's look at the gold today's day chart. As I mentioned to you, the color of the day chart shows very clearly CCRY red to yellow, and now it's opening prices here. The only problem is that the KSI is red and the blue bars are still there, so the market is still going to have some resistance today. But based on the chart of TWB, as long as they above OP, it should be able to cross towards 1768. But the next level that it should be going 1773. I think that is a level that I think all of us wanted to cross, because that is the level that if it cross, everything will be good. All right. But then the downside is that if the gold pulls back, it may go back down to 1740, which is something that I told you 1745. That's the technical point. So for today's gold, upside is going to be limited because the KSI is red. But as long as it stays above OP, then of course the eventual target is still here. So 1773 level. Okay, so that is the goal for today. Now for silver, I already told you guys to buy some silver. I told you silver, anytime you pull back, it's a good time to buy some silver. And indeed, it really happened. I did share with you 2-3 days ago. I say if silver come down, just look to buy some silver. And silver is now up already by about probably 10 to 12%. So traders, watch out for silver. If silver can cross this point here, which is $22.91, which is actually very nearby to the FIBO level 2, it might bring the silver price all the way up to this point here, and that's for $24. So today now it's at $22.50, already pretty decent. I suspect that it will go up to $24 as long as the market can break the MA30 level. Okay, MA30 level. Then we look at that is the silver for today. And let's look at crude oil. Now crude oil, I told you it will go higher, and it indeed went higher again. Now it's testing $75. Now do know for crude oil, let me bring the chart a little bit. Crude oil has a FIBO level that we mentioned at $76, the recent high, $76.90. So if the crude oil pulls back, then the downside is going to be limited. And what we suspect that we may see the crude oil going back up again to challenge this 76.90 level. Okay, it may challenge and go back to the 76.90 level. Okay, the moving average MA30 is actually moving higher. MA200 is still there, so we can see that the market is kind of bullish still at the moment right now for crude oil. And if you look at the TWB chart for crude oil, bring it in, TWB chart for crude oil. Okay, sorry. It's supposed to be Nikkei. For crude oil today, everything looks good, but there's no pivot today. I repeat, today crude oil got no pivot. When crude oil got no pivot, the OP will be the main driver. If it stays up OP, it will go up. If it stays below OP, it will go down. But because of the KSI is green in color, right, that means the downside will be limited already. So that means that the market, once it hits some technical point, we do suspect that it may recover. So traders for crude oil, it's not very effective to short right now. Look for buy instead. Okay. All right. So we've covered commodities, which is gold, silver, and crude oil. The last two now is Bitcoin and Ethereum to wrap it up for today's MAO. Okay, let's go. Now, first of all, let's look at the Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has Ethereum first. Ethereum is trading higher this morning. We have a beautiful color change, red to yellow. Red to yellow is a buy. So this morning is a buy. Although the KSI is red but the blue bar is missing already. That means the bullishness is there. So bullishness plus KCX, CCRY is a buy for this Ethereum, looking at 34,498. All right, I suspect that the Ethereum will go up to 34,98. That means that it will go up to 34.98. Now it's at 33.22. So the upside is what, another $120 upside for Ethereum if it actually happens. Okay, that's Ethereum for you. Then how about Bitcoin? Now Bitcoin, where are you? Bitcoin, yeah, here we go. Bitcoin is also a color change, red to yellow. It's a buy. It's now trading at 47,000. It hit 48,000 this morning. Okay, so now what do we see? Same thing is the KCX at the bottom, but the difference is the KSI has been green. So in fact, the KSI has been green for many days. So when the market was down a few days, but the KSI is green, the moment it's prop up right, you can see the magnitude is similar as the magnitude here. So you see the range here, in the range here is about identical. So when the market is being pressed down strongly, but the KSI is green, it's a very good sign that once the market rebound, right, the upside will be equivalent strength. And this is something that we've seen it so many times, and students who actually know how to utilize this will know why Bitcoin actually shoot up technically on Friday itself. Okay, so it's all very important data that you have to take note. So as long as you follow through, you'll be able to make some money out of this. Okay, all right, so that is the Bitcoin for you. And because of that, I have finished today's MAO. All right, which means that today I completed my MAO, and I think that I've done a pretty decent job. I hope that you enjoy the session. And then again, for students of mine, you will continue talking in Telegram. For those who are non-student but you are interested in this, then join us in the TWB community. All right, that'll be all for today. Thank you very much. That's all. See you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.